Okay. All right. So we are live on Facebook and on Instagram, and tonight we are talking about the top platforms that you need to be on to land an online job. Which website do you need to be on? Where do you need to spend time? Where do you need to have your profiles created? Now the reason, so I'm just gonna greet the people on Facebook, live on Facebook as well. I'm super excited to be there. It's my first time doing a live on travel with them on Facebook. Actually, my second time. Can you believe I've had this page for what, like 2 or 3 years now, and it's only my second time doing live on Facebook. But I hope that I can have more lives like this. Okay, so the idea behind this live session was basically to provide more information. I know that we are at the end of the year, and I know that a lot of people had set plans and had set goals to, make money in 2021, given the pandemic, given this, given that. And, a lot of things went south. A lot of people were thinking that things were going to change, and yet we are still in this pandemic. It looks like it doesn't want to go anywhere. And a lot of people were set aback. But the truth of the matter is, some people set goals to start working online this year, and they were not able to meet these goals. And a lot of people also said, I want to be where the money is in 2021, and they didn't end up being where the money is. I don't know where they are now. But if you are in a situation where you feel like this is the end of the year, you really want to give it a push, you really want to give it your best shot, you really want to put yourself out there, you really want to do something before the year is over, what can you do to land a job online? What can you do to give yourself your best chance? And this is the live for you. This is the session for you. I'm going to walk you through the different online work platforms that I have used and I've recommended to my students, and I'm going to give you a little bit of background as to what makes each platform superior to the other. Now, if it's the first time that you see me talking about online work, online job, or anything about working online, just a bit of an introduction. My name is Clem, but people call me Dr. Clem because I'm a doctor by training, but I also coach people like you how they can get started working online, even if they don't have any experience, even if they only have experience working in the physical workplace. I've been coaching online for years now. I've had experience working online for years now, and for the past 2 years, I've coached close to 200 people, mostly based in the Caribbean, mostly based in Dominica, teaching them how they can use the skills that they have for them to make money online. My students have been able to quit their full-time jobs, their government job, paid salary. They've been able to build their own businesses. They've been able to renovate their homes. They've been able to start their own practices, develop their own websites by using the tips and everything that I've shared with them. So for you who is looking at the screen behind there, it's just to tell you that working online is real. Working online, you can get real money. Working online is plausible. Working online is sustainable. And in this specific live, I'm going to show you the key platforms that you need to be on if you really want to make money online. But before we dive deeper into that, drop me some hearts there if you're excited to be there. Drop me some hearts, motivate me to speak, because I want to speak a lot. I love talking. Drop me some hearts, some emojis, so that I know that you're excited about what we're going to talk about, and I can pump myself too. Okay. In addition to that, I also wanted to mention that if you want additional advice about working online, you can check out all my social media platforms. I'm on Facebook, I'm on Instagram, I'm on YouTube now, working on building my YouTube channel with a lot more videos. I'm on TikTok, yes, and I also have a website, www.travelwithclem.com. But the primary platform that I recommend, really, if you want to find out more about working online and accessing my resources, is my website. Okay, so you go to www.travelwithclem.com. Okay, so here we are, end of year. People are making their New Year resolution, or they are reviewing their New Year's resolution. By the way, do you guys have New Year's resolutions? I don't know. I had New Year's resolutions. I'm tangling myself. I had New Year's resolutions, and I've actually started to review them, and I could see that some of them I was able to achieve them, others I wasn't. But again, as I mentioned before, the year is not over yet. The year is not over. You still have 6 weeks before the end of the year. You can still meet your goals. You can still meet your income goals and any other goals that you have set up for yourself. Okay. By the way, while we go ahead, if you have any questions, make sure you drop them in the comments. I will respond to them when we are done, because I just want to go through everything that I have to say. If I'm able to catch any question while I'm going through the live, I will answer it, but most likely I'm going to respond to your questions when I'm done, so you can still leave them in the comments. So let's dive deeper. The top questions that the top platforms that you need to be on if you want to land an online job. It could be this year, it could be the next year, and so forth, but for now let's focus on this year. Now, when it comes to landing an online job, there are two approaches that you can have. Okay, you can apply to companies directly if you know companies that are hiring online. So throughout the pandemic, and even before the pandemic, a lot of companies have been looking for people to work remotely, specifically all over the world, like in the Caribbean. I've seen jobs openings for people in the Caribbean, for people in the Americas, for people in Africa, and so forth. So there are actually companies that, even before the pandemic, they were hiring people online. Like, they had jobs openings and all these kind of things for people who wanted to work online. Companies were hiring, right? But throughout the pandemic, it has actually magnified. Like, you now have like a lot more companies being remote friendly. A lot more companies are open to allow their staff members to work remotely, to work from anywhere, and so forth. So this is definitely something that has blossomed throughout the pandemic. So one of the ways in which you can actually get an online job is by applying directly to these companies. But the caveat is that you need to know what companies are. You need to know at least how to find those companies, right? So if you don't know which companies are hiring online, if you don't know which companies are hiring remotely, you're not going to be able to apply for jobs. So the first thing is applying directly to companies. I usually recommend that to my students because I have a database, a library of companies that are hiring people from around the world, including the Caribbean, including Dominica, Antigua, St. Lucia, including Africa, Europe, Southeast Asia, and whatnot. My team and I, we put that together. Like, every Friday, we literally dig through different websites and resources, and we actually find companies that say that they are looking for people who are all around the world, like who are not in the US, who are located internationally, and we put it in a database together. So the database is updated every Friday. So if you want to have access to that database, it's called the Remote Job Directory. And if you want to have access to it, make sure that you drop a comment below and just type Remote Job Directory, or you can just type directly. That way, when the live is over, I can just go through comments and see who I'm going to give the access to the Remote Job Directory to. That directory is free. You can have access to the directory for free. My team and I are working on it. We update it every week and we make it available for free. At some point, it's going to become a paid resource because it takes a lot of time, but I will encourage you to capitalize on it while it's still free. You can access it for free at least for the rest of the year. We have different companies that are hiring in different job positions. You have customer service, virtual assistants, data entry, article writing, graphic design, teaching, and so many things. Like the things that you are doing right now, wherever you are working, you can actually do them online. And we have different job categories within that directory. So if you want to have access to it, it's a free directory up to December. At least it's going to be free. Companies that are hiring around the world for free, they are looking for people located anywhere in the world, including the Caribbean. Drop a comment in the chat now so that when I can send you the directory link. Okay, so the number one way for you to find a remote job is by applying directly to companies, and the caveat is that you need to know which companies are hiring. The second way in which you can land a remote job is by applying to online job platforms. So the first way was applying directly to companies, which means you go on company websites and go to the career page and apply. And then the second way is by signing up for online job platforms. Now, what are online job platforms? Essentially, the online job platforms can act as a middleman who basically connects you to a company that is hiring, right? So for example, If you were going to go to the company, apply to the company directly, then you will apply directly on the website of the company. But on an online job platform, you don't go to the website of the company, you go to the platform, and the platform basically is connected with different companies, different clients, even not necessarily always companies, different clients who are looking for people like you. So what the platform does is that it connects you with companies that are looking for people like you, and similarly it connects companies with freelancers or remote workers like you. So the platforms basically act as the middleman. The platforms are the middleman between you and the company where you want to work. That's how it kind of works. So the first way you can land online jobs is by going directly to the company boards if you know the companies. But because you're going to have access to my remote job directory, you're actually going to get access to some of those companies. So make sure that you drop a comment in the chat now to say remote job directory or just say directory. That way I can give you access to that remote job directory by the end of the live. The second way is to apply to online job platforms, because they are able to a lot of companies sign up on those platforms to recruit people like you and I. Okay, now this is what we're going to talk in this live about, the remote job platforms where you can go for you to find online jobs. Now, since the pandemic has started, there has been an ascending and kind of like scary bloom of all these online remote job platforms where a lot of people can go and sign up to have online jobs. But the problem with that is, just as every time there's something good, there's also a counterpart that is bad. So although a lot of online job platforms are legit, a lot of them are also scams, and a lot of them are also not legit. So as a result of that, a lot of people are afraid of applying for jobs or pitching their services on different online platforms, because they come across as either scams or they ask them for money and so forth. Now, I just wanted to clarify something for you. When you apply for online jobs from using online job platforms which act as middlemen, the platforms are free, which means that you can sign up on the platform, you can create a profile on the platforms, but you do so for free. They don't charge you any fees. However, here is the caveat. Depending on the subscription that you have with the platforms, they might require you to pay a fee, and here is why. Technically, the platform connects you with a potential client or a database, or wide database of clients that can hire you for the job, right? So if you want to have more perks or more access or more of a lot of things, then there is a fee that they might charge you for you to get that premium access. That is normal, that is expected. That is also how the platforms make money. So by charging you a premium fee, which is usually between 10 and 15 or 20 US dollars, then you get access to more things within the platform. However, the platforms that are scammy, they will ask you for money in a different way. Again, if a platform is asking you to subscribe, like they actually ask you to, if you want to upgrade your account and so forth. Like, it's not like a trick, it's not something that is hidden where you just see a charge appear in your account or things like that. It's more likely to be legit. But if you sign up on the platform and then without coming out of nowhere, you just realize that, okay, you were debited this amount of money, then that's most likely a scam and you should definitely report it. I hope you understand the difference. Are you understanding what I'm saying? I know I tend to speak a lot fast because, that happens to me when I'm really passionate about what I'm talking. If you understand what I'm saying, if you are following, just let me know in the chat, in the comments, so I know that we are on the same page. Let me scroll through the chat really quickly. Let's see. Is everything that I'm saying clear? Are you understanding what I'm saying? Let me see. Okay, so I see a few of you guys message that you want access to the remote job directory. Awesome. Thank you, Stephen. Thank you, Curdy, from Facebook. Yes, so when we are done with the live, I will definitely give you access to the remote job directory. And my people on Instagram, if you want to have access to the remote job directory, make sure you add that in the chat, in the comments, or you pop in a question and say remote job directory, so that when we are done, I can I can send that to you. Okay. All right. Awesome. So let's proceed now. So I broke it down for you, and I basically told you the different things, that the different ways you can apply for online jobs. One, you go directly to the platforms, or two, to the companies, sorry, or two, you apply through online job platforms that connect you to companies. Now, the online job platforms are free to sign up, free to create profiles on, but they might ask you to pay a fee for you to access premium features. I see that Samuel will like the remote job directory as well. Awesome. I'm going to make sure that you get access to it when we are done with the live. Okay, so the online job platforms are free, but they might charge you an extra fee for you to access premium features, right? But if a platform charges you without your consent, or they charge you without giving you a notification, or without you being aware, most likely it's a scam and you shouldn't sign up for those platforms. So now I'm going to tell you what are the key platforms that I have personally used and I have recommended to my students who I have coached to land online jobs, who are now working online, who are not hiring themselves, who are now building their own businesses, who are now working full-time online, and all these amazing things. In no particular order, I'm just going to give you the platforms as they come to my mind, okay? In no particular order. You have, number one, Upwork, okay? Now, I don't know if any of you guys have been on Upwork before, or if you've heard about Upwork before. If you have, let me know in the chat so I know how exposed or how familiar you are with everything work online. So Upwork is one of the platforms that you can sign up on for you to land an online job. Now, Upwork, before Upwork was Upwork was a platform called Odesk, and basically what happened is that over the years they merged with another platform called Elant and they became one. So now it's called Upwork, but a lot of, like, several years ago we had different platforms. You had Upwork, you had Odesk, and you had Elant, and then they merged and they now form Upwork. Now, to this date, Upwork is one of the largest online job platforms that has the majority of freelancers, the majority of remote workers, and the majority of clients as well. Upwork is great because it has a very easy user interface, which means that it's very easy to navigate. All my students love Upwork. Like, okay, I shouldn't say all, but I should say like maybe 99.9% of the students love Upwork because it's very easy to use. There is a wide range of skills that you can really maneuver on Upwork. There is a wide range of clients that you can really work with when it comes to working on Upwork. It's very easy to navigate. It's very easy to create your profile, and it just has a lot of perks. And it's also my favorite platform, Upwork. Usually what I tell my students is that when you find a platform, because as part of my coaching program, usually I expose them to the majority, to as many platforms as they can handle, and I usually tell them that when you find a platform that works for you, just stick to it, because it will be easier to build your income and to build your popularity and to build your portfolio on that platform before you can pivot to another platform. So I usually tell them, try different platforms out of what I recommend, see what you like, see what sticks with you, see where you get the most money, and stick to it. So for me, I've used Upwork a lot because it worked for me from the get-go. It's still working for me. Even when I'm not applying for jobs, it's still working for me. I'm getting jobs, I'm getting offers, I'm getting gigs, I'm getting clients, and so forth. So Upwork is definitely one that I recommend. Another reason why I love Upwork is because it has a very good security and safety feature. So if you go through different other online job platforms, you're going to realize as you go along on your online work journey that a lot of them are not very safe, a lot of them are not very secure, and you can tell by how easy and how fast it is for people to get scammed on these platforms. But what I love about Upwork is the fact that they actually have security features in place, so much so that if a job seems like it's going to be a scam, or if it sounds like a scam, if it looks like a scam, if it smells like a scam, they're just going to flag that job. Even if you had applied for that job, they're going to cancel it because their feature makes it recognize scam. So they really tend to protect the freelancer or the remote worker, and they also want to protect the employer. Okay, now how do they protect you as a freelancer or the remote worker? When they see jobs that have the potential to be a scam, then they flag those jobs and they cancel them. But how do they also protect the client? Well, They only connect clients to jobs, to freelancers who actually have the potential of doing the jobs. So a lot of times you will see people who want to work online, apply to all kind of jobs, and that is a mistake, because you cannot do every job out there. You have to stick to the jobs that are in your lane, in your field. And that is another thing that I teach to my students when we do the one-on-one coaching or the group coaching. A lot of people think that when you work online, it's only one skill category, it's only one thing that you can do. But when you work, we actually help you figure out what skills you can market that are specific to you and will help you make that income that you want. Out of the students that I've coached, I have had students who are very good in graphic design. So if you are good in graphic design, you're not going to go into a job that requires you to do data entry or virtual assistance. No, you're going to go for graphic design. If you are very good in painting, I even had a student who was very good in painting. So if you're very good in painting, you're going to go for artistic and art and craft kind of jobs, right? So that is one of the things that I really do when I coach students. Like, you identify the skills that work for you, because if you go for something that doesn't work for you, most likely you're not going to enjoy it, and as a result of that, you are not going to be able to make the income that you want to make. So back to Upwork now. Upwork allows you to be able to apply for jobs or pitch yourself for jobs based on your skills and the skills that you are more comfortable with. Now, if you say that you want to learn new things and maybe you are proficient in a specific skill category, but when it comes to working online, you want to learn something else, it's also possible. You can also do that. The most important thing is you need to create your profile in a way that reflects your skills and your aspiring skills. That way, when you apply for jobs, Upwork will better be able to match you with clients, and you are more likely to land the job. Why? Because you have a congruent story, because you show that you actually have the skills for that specific position. So that's one of the things that I love about Upwork. That is why I recommend Upwork to people. If you are looking for somewhere to start, if you want to use a platform that is very user friendly, or if you just want to check it out, I recommend that you do. Just look up Upwork, www.upwork.com, and you will be able to see how easy to use the platform is. So that is one of the websites that you want to be on if you want to land an online job, right? In the interest of time, we're not going to go through all of them, but I'm going to give you maybe 3 or 4 other platforms, and then the rest of the platforms you can check them out on my website. I wrote an article about it. You can look it up by just going to www.travelwithclem.com, and you will find all my articles about working online. And again, if you want to get access to the Remote Job Directory, which is a free database of companies that are hiring people in the Caribbean, people in Africa, people in Asia, and everywhere, make sure you type Remote Job Directory in the chat so that I can send that to you when we are done with the live. Okay? All right. So the second website that you need to be on, the second platform or the second avenue where you need to be on if you want to learn an online job, is Fiverr. Now let me know, have you heard about Fiverr before? Maybe in your own internal research, or from somebody. Have you heard about Fiverr before? Let me know. I would love to know, so that I can also know how deep I should go when it comes to talking about Fiverr. Just let me know in the comments. How familiar are you with Fiverr? Have you heard about Fiverr before? Have you used Fiverr before? Have you read about Fiverr before? Okay. I see some people have. Yes, you have heard about Fiverr, and some haven't. Okay. All right. So Fiverr is a platform it's another platform where you can find online jobs, but Fiverr operates a little bit differently from Upwork. Okay, so you haven't heard about it. Okay, so it spells Fiverr, and it operates a little bit different from Upwork. So when Fiverr was created, right, the intention for Fiverr was to sell skills or to sell services that are $5 or less. Okay, so essentially the platform was supposed to be a budget platform for people who are looking for really cheap labor, very affordable labor, and also freelancers who just wanted to make a little bit of money based on the skills that they had. So with that in mind, Fiverr was created, but now Fiverr is actually very, very successful as a platform because they have bloomed not just in the past 20 years but also throughout the pandemic. A lot of people that I know and a lot of people that I've coached, have had success with on Fiverr, landing jobs, be it short-term or long-term contracts. And I'm going to tell you what makes Fiverr unique. So for those of you who are asking, Fiverr, you can type Fiverr. You just look up Fiverr. It has like a green kind of logo and so forth. Okay, so when you go, what makes Fiverr different from Upwork is the fact that on Fiverr, the main way Fiverr operates is basically by creating services and letting clients come to you, whereas on Upwork, you go to clients. So essentially, you create your profile, you create like your profile, your cover letters, and your resumes, and then you apply for jobs, like you pitch yourself. But on Fiverr, what you do is that you're creating your offers and your services and you let clients come to you. It's kind of like a disadvantage because it makes it a little bit of a more passive platform, and it means also that when you are creating your profiles, you need to do everything that you can to make sure that your profile is created in a way that will entice clients to you, so you will have to go against the rest of the competition. So for that reason, I tend to prefer Upwork because Upwork is more proactive. Like I can see a job I like and I can pitch myself to it for it. Whereas on Fiverr, I don't really get the opportunity to pitch myself to clients. A few times, occasionally, you can offer your services to clients, but the main way the platform is designed is so that clients come to you basically to look at the services that you have to offer. It's almost like if you have a store online, right? So not online, sorry, you're building a store in Roseau. I'm taking the example of Roseau because we are currently in Dominica. Hello, the Caribbean. So it's almost like you have a store in Roseau, right? You are not going to go outside and tell customers, please come to my store. Based on how your store is decorated and based on the storefront and everything that you can see from the outside, customers are going to decide to come in or not. Okay? Versus if you have your online store and you are prospecting, you are kind of like messaging people like, hey, are you interested in this and that and that? That is Upwork. So Upwork is basically more like you going for clients, like you applying for jobs or applying for projects that you like. Whereas Fiverr is more like you prepare your store, you prepare everything, and you hope that clients come. And the main way for you to ensure that clients come to you is by optimizing your profile and optimizing your offering and your gig. Now Fiverr operates based on something that we call gigs, like GIGS. Gigs are basically services that you offer. So if, for example, I am a customer service agent, let's say at Flow Dominica or Flow Antigua or Flow, I don't know if it is Flow in Antigua. Actually, I just said it. Is there Flow in Antigua? I really don't know. But let's just say Digicel, right? Because I know Digicel is in many places. if I'm a customer service agent in Digicel Dominica or Digicel St. Lucia or Digicel Antigua, right? Then I have customer service skills, right? So I can go on Fiverr and create a customer service package where clients who look for customer service can buy that package and I can provide them my services. It could be it could be phone calls, it could be emails, it could be SMSs, it could be whatever, I decide it to be. That's how Fiverr works. But if I were to create a profile, to do it on Upwork I will create a profile and then I would create a profile, then look at customer service jobs that are open for at different times of the day, and then apply for those jobs. So like write a cover letter and resume. So I hope you can like get the difference between the two platforms. Each of them has its perks, each of them has its advantages, but it's all a matter of the way the approach, you securing your first online job, and also basically how friendly the platform is and what success you can have on each platform. Because Upwork is more proactive, I prefer Upwork. But I also have a lot of clients who have had repeated business on Fiverr. Like every time they sign up, they create a new service, it gets purchased, and then it gets purchased and purchased and purchased over and over and over again. So that works as well. Okay, I'm going to talk to you about another platform that you can try out if you want to land an online job, if you're looking for somewhere to sign up, and that platform is people per hour. Okay, people per hour. Before I tell you more about people per hour, I just want to reemphasize again that if you want to have a list of companies that are hiring people where you are, like in Dominica, in St. Lucia, in Antigua, anywhere in the Caribbean, in Africa, in Europe, basically anywhere outside of the US or outside of Canada, then make sure that you drop a comment below and say remote job directory or just directory. That way I can give you access to my free remote job directory where you can have access to those companies. They are hiring across different skills category. Okay, so we're going to talk about the last platform that I wanted to tell you about tonight, and that is people per hour. So as the name suggests, it's people per hour, right? You can type it on your browser, people per hour, and you can basically see what a platform looks like. Simply put, it has like it has a very nice orange kind of like vibes. If you are going on the website right now, just to make sure that you're on the right website, it has the theme colors are like orange and black for people per hour. Okay, so I see Chrissy wants a remote job directory. Awesome girl. I'm going to send it to you when we are done with the live, and I'm going to message it to you so you'll be able to access it with your email address. Awesome. Okay, so people per hour. People per hour, as the name suggests. Okay, KSL, okay, remote job. KSL already sent you the remote job directory. Okay, I see that somebody is waving. I'm not sure if you were just waving back because I waved at you. Okay, no problem. All right, so people per hour, as the name of the platform suggests, their main marketing or their main sales point is that they help you be hired on an hourly basis, right? So you can apply, you can postulate for different projects, different jobs, and clients can hire you on an hourly basis. By the way, I'm planning to have another live where I tell you about how you can get paid for online jobs. There are online jobs that you can do on an hourly basis. There are online jobs that you can do on a project basis. All right, so depending on what you're looking for in your time availability, you can go for hourly jobs or you can go for project-based jobs. But people per hour is a platform that hires people and you are paid on an hourly basis. Now, I have not really personally used people per hour like that, but I recommend that to my students because I did some research on it and my students tried it out and they had success on that platform. So basically what you want to do is that you want to sign up on the platform and you want to create your profile all nice and cozy, and then you start pitching and postulating for different jobs. Now the rate that you're going to be using for the different jobs is going to depend on your experience level, the experience level that the client is looking at, and also how much testimonials or maybe how much proof that you have, how much proof you have to demonstrate that you actually have experience in that. In my articles and in my videos, I tell you exactly what you should do if you want to apply for an online job, even if you don't have experience or even if you cannot prove that you have experience. And we do that without cheating. It's all a matter of strategies, because I know that a lot of people they're looking for online jobs that they are really at the entry level, like you don't necessarily have work experience, or maybe you have work experience but it's not in your field, but you still want to be able to learn an online job. So I have techniques, I have strategies, and I have tips that I share in my videos, I share in my articles. So if you want to see my latest videos, actually you should go on my YouTube channel. It's called Travel with Clem. Basically, if you type Travel with Clem on YouTube, you will find me. Okay, a lot of informational videos on different things, different aspects of working online that you might not find anywhere else. But let's go back to people per hour. When you go on people per hour, you can apply for different jobs in different categories. It could be jobs in graphic design, in customer service, in writing, in sales, in website development, different things like language translation. So it's really to show you that there is a wide variety of skills and a wide variety of opportunities that you can actually try out on these different platforms. People per hour is one of them. Fiverr is one of them, and Upwork is one of them. Okay, so if you are at a stage where this is the end of the year, you want to take action, you want to really try landing an online job for yourself, you feel like you've been slacking off, or you feel like you haven't really done anything, or you were slowed down on your online job endeavors, then try out one of these platforms. Try it out. Sign up tonight or tomorrow morning create your profile, take action, and if you have any questions, come back to me, let me know. I am happy to help you. Now, before we leave this live, drop any questions that you may have, or leave them in the comments so that I can address them at the end of the live. But before we leave, I kind of like almost lost my train of thought. Before we leave, I wanted to tell you about a product that I just launched, and it's called the Remote Work Starter Pack. Now, back in October, I did a webinar. Actually, I did 2 webinars where I taught the people who signed up on the webinar how they could find online jobs that were right for them. And the reason I did that webinar was basically, again, shed some more light on remote work and show you that it's possible for everybody. It's been possible for me. It's been possible for the 200 and plus students that I have had the privilege to coach right now, which means that most definitely it's possible for you wherever you are, whatever your skills category is. So at the end of that webinar, the attendees told me that they wanted to really be able to take action right away. Like, they wanted something that would allow them to just say, okay, you know what, I want to start working online now. I want to take action. I want to take the next steps. But when I did a webinar, I was finishing my coaching program, my coaching course, which is a 3-month course. I was finishing it with the current student cohort, so I wasn't able to really take any new students. So as a result of that, I decided to create a product that will allow you to actually start working online, or take the steps that you need to find an online job on your own with my guidance. So even if you're not able to sign up for the main coaching program, which is the 3-month program, at least you can take the next steps, like step by step, for you to land your next online job on your own. And that is how the Remote Work Starter Pack really came about. So what is the starter pack basically? The Remote Work Starter Pack is a combination of videos, tutorials, and templates that you can use at your own convenience, in your at your own comfort, to follow all my instructions for you to be able to take the steps you need to land your next online jobs. So in the starter pack, I show you step by step, what you need to do, from searching for jobs online, from applying to jobs, from preparing for your interviews, to negotiating your online rates. And in addition to that, I even share with you templates that I have used myself and that my students have also used. Templates for your cover letters, templates for your resumes, and so many other templates. So the starter pack is really to help you get started and hopefully get finished. You understand? So even if Coach Clem is not available to help you, or you want to start right away, then you have a resource that you can actually use at your own convenience, in your own time. Watch the videos, apply the instructions, click on all the links, create your profiles, do everything on your own, and land your online job. I am launching the Remote Work Starter Pack on November 26th, Friday, November 26th, and it's going to be available for purchase on that day. However, no, not available for purchase, sorry, it's going to be available for download on that day. However, the Remote Work Starter Pack is already available for purchase on my website. So what I'm going to do is, at the end of this live, I'm going to, if you're watching on Instagram, you can actually check the link in my bio. But if you're watching on Facebook, I'm going to post the link again on my page. I think it's somewhere on my page already, but I'm going to repost it. You can purchase your pack right now, so that when it's released on November 26th, you have access to it right away. And everyone who pre-orders the pack before it's released will get a bonus coaching session with me. There are additional bonuses that I'm planning to release. I'm already letting you know. Between now and November 26th, I'm going to announce them when it comes in due time, because I want to reward the early action takers. What you're going to realize is that when it comes to working online, the early bird really does catch the first worm. And I tell that to my students all the time. They even say that depending on the time when you are applying for jobs, you are more likely to get the best job. So it really shows that the early bird catches the first worm. And I'm always in the business of rewarding people who take actions, because a lot of people at the beginning of this year said, I want a job online, I want this, I want that. But look at us now, we are in November, nothing has been done. I am a person of action. I'm a person who say, if it needs to be done, it needs to be done. We need to do it. So if you take action, you are going to be rewarded automatically. The Remote Work Starter Pack is available already for purchase. You can secure your pack yourself just go on the link in my bio on Instagram and on Facebook. I'm going to include the link at the end of this live. You can also check my the Facebook page. The link has been posted before, but I'm going to repost it again. The pack is going to be $59 US, which is like about 159 EC, and you get access to videos and resources that will show you how you can find jobs for yourself, how you can apply for the right jobs, how you can prepare for interviews, how you can negotiate your rates. And on top of that, you're getting my templates that I've already used, created, that have shown success. I mean, that is literally like a gift for the holidays for you. And if you pre-order before the pack is launched on November 26th, you get a bonus coaching session with me, and many other things are in store. Okay, so that is the remote work starter pack. As soon as it's available, you are going to be able to download it, to use it at your convenience, to implement all the tips and apply them, you know, whenever you have the time to basically do the work. Now, I see a question from Chrissy. Don't you need a US address for some of those sites? I love that question, Chrissy. Great question. So what you will notice about me is that, Chrissy, I'm not US based, Chrissy. You know, I'm here in Dominica, you know, the nature isle of Dominica. I don't have a US address, and the majority of the people that have coached to work online are not based in the US. They are based in Dominica, in fact, in the Caribbean. So no, you don't need a US address for you to land an online job or to sign up. In fact, I specialize in teaching people who are not in the US or in Canada how to find online jobs. So definitely any tip or advice that I'm giving you is from that perspective, or somebody who is not based in the US or based in Canada. If you are based in the US or if you are based in Canada, there are additional location perks that you have, right? But if you are not, the majority of the opportunities that I'm sharing are most definitely for you. So you don't need to have a US address or a Canadian address for you to be able to land this online job. In fact, I think I should make a video on that, right? I think that would be a good idea, to make a video on that. Do I need a US address, or do I need to be based in the US or in Canada to land an online job? Because it's not the first time that I'm getting that question, and I think that it can be something of more people might have that question. Yeah. All right. Do you guys have any other questions? Is there anything you want me to cover before we end this live? It's been 40 minutes already. The girl can talk. Do you guys have any other questions? I saw some questions that my friend Mandy sent earlier about New Year's resolutions. She said, no more resolutions, we just do things as they are needed. Yeah, definitely, I understand. I completely understand. I like New Year's resolutions, but my New Year's resolutions work because I have kind of like adapted them to my lifestyle, and I actually set goals and like set milestones and clearly defined plans for me to be able to achieve it. But I know that New Year's resolution doesn't necessarily work for everybody. So yeah. So do you guys have any more questions? The platforms where you should be on for you to land online jobs, how you can get started and so forth. Any questions about that, make sure you drop them in the chat so I can answer them. If you want to get access to companies that are hiring or looking for people all over the world, including the Caribbean, right now, make sure you comment in the chat remote job directory or just directory. That way, when we are done with the live, I can just send that to you, and you are going to start applying for jobs. Okay, and remember, the remote work starter pack is launching on November 26th. If you pre-order before it's launched, you get a bonus one-on-one coaching sessions with me, and I'm also preparing a handful of other bonuses for people who are early action takers. I know it's a holiday, so you're in the giving mood, so that's basically it. Before we end the live though, guys, I am also going to go live again on Wednesday. And on Wednesday, I want to talk about, I actually want you to help me decide the topic. On Wednesday, I'm thinking about two topics. I want to talk about how to set goals that you actually achieve. It could be financial goals, it could be personal goals, any type of goals. So how to set goals that you can actually achieve on Wednesday. Or I could also talk about how to identify scams when working online. Which topic do you want to be covered on Wednesday? Let me know in the chat before we leave so I can prepare accordingly. That will be our parting questions. What do you want to know most? What do you want to know first? How to set goals that you can actually achieve at the end of the year. That will be for you to prepare for 2020, to prepare in 2022. Or do you want to learn more about how to avoid scams when working online? Or if you want to learn about something else on Wednesday live, just let me know in the chat before we leave. I'm waiting now. Suggestions. Why are you guys so quiet? Are you guys already out implementing everything that I told you? Come on, you can implement when the live is done. Just give me the suggestions of what you want to hear, what you want us to talk about on Wednesday, so I know which topic to prioritize. What are we talking about on Wednesday live? What are you talking about? Let's go. Do you want to learn about how to set goals that you can actually achieve? Or do you want to talk about how to identify online web scams? Both? Okay. Steven, I love Steven's energy, man. Steven is like, yeah, I'm about this life. Let's do both. Okay. Anyone else? What would you want to prioritize? Goals. Okay, that's nice. Chrissy, okay. Goal setting. That's awesome. Goals. Okay. All right. So, okay, but so Chrissy is saying goals. You want to learn about goal setting on Wednesday, and Steven wants to learn about both on Wednesday. Is somebody going to give me another answer and serve as a tiebreaker so I just know which one to pick for Wednesday? You know, because I mean, we can do one topic on Wednesday and then the other one on the next live. Which one do you want to prioritize? Or do you want me to just scams? Okay. So case study is a tiebreaker here, scams. Okay, so on Wednesday we're going to talk about how to avoid scams when you're looking for online jobs, and then on Friday we're going to talk about setting goals and preparing yourself to succeed in the new year. I just want to let you know that I am particularly excited for those two sessions, and let me tell you why. The reason I'm excited about the session, Jamie is like, she wants to learn about avoiding scams. Okay, so we're gonna start with scams. So the reason I'm excited about the scam session is because there was a point in my online work journey that where I actually fell prey to a scam. And actually people have tried to scam me a few times, and I've always been able to identify it, but there was a time when I actually was this close to falling prey to that scam. And let me tell you something, that time I realized that anyone can fall prey to that scam. I was already well advanced in my online work career. Like, I had already gone through scams. I knew how to avoid scams. But at that time, the reason why I almost fell prey to that scam was because I was vulnerable. And I'm going to tell you that more about that on our Wednesday session, how I was vulnerable and what made me a good target for that scam, but also how I was able to recognize it. So that's going to be a very juicy Wednesday live. Now, when it comes to goal setting, I'm excited about that session because let me see what okay, sorry, I just wanted to make sure I was still live on Facebook. Okay, so when it comes to goal setting, right? Jamie's like, yes, they always ask me for password and you never know. Oh yes, that is one of the ways. So when it comes to goal setting, the reason I'm excited about that session is because what I've noticed is that a lot of times, right, even I was a victim of that. Like, when you see the new year is coming, like right now, the holiday fever hasn't really gone there. Like, we're not really feeling that fever yet. Wait for when November finish, when they really start to be more aggressive with all this Christmas and all these New Year things. The holiday fever is really going to start, and you will start around the holidays. It's kind of like a holiday spirit. Everybody is happy, everybody is excited, everybody is joyful and looks forward to the new year in anticipation. And everybody makes all these big goals, right? And at that time, you really feel like, I'm really going to achieve this goal. This year is going to be different. This year is going to be different. And that is your mood for November, for December, your mood for January, and maybe your mood for half of February. But at some point, you realize that as if that mood just starts to decrease, like you're not feeling that way anymore. You're not really feeling that holiday fever. And then you just forget about your New Year resolution until maybe your birthday, if at all. Right? If at all you remember it during your birthday. And if you don't remember it during your birthday, it's going to be till next year again, November or December, you think about your New Year's resolution. So a lot of times we want to achieve great things. A lot of times we want to change things around our lives. But you know, after we are past that holiday fever, we don't really do that anymore. Like we don't really think about it. So when we're talking about that goal setting session, I'm actually going to break down to you why that happens. That has, and I came to that realization from my own personal life, but also having coached students and having discussed with a lot of my students. Why is it that you set goals but you're never able to achieve them, and then come November or December you feel like, oh my god, I'm a failure and all that stuff, even though that's not true. We're going to talk about why that keeps happening, and we're going to talk specifically about what you can do differently this year for you to actually set goals that you are going to achieve at the end of the year. I'm telling you this from my personal experience. When 2021 rang, we are just talking. I mean, I'm done talking about the main topic. Now we are talking a little bit about life stuff for you guys who are still there. When 2021 rang, right? I set myself and I said, Lord, this year, this is what I want this year. Say one, say two, I need to achieve this at the end of the year. And I was very intentional and very decisive and very attentionate and very particular about how I wanted to achieve those goals. I was monitoring them. I was watching those goals. I was also prone to distractions. But there are things that I did this year that really made me ensure that, you know, compared to all the other years, I'm able to hit my goals, if not all, at least some of them. And right now, I can tell you safely that we are coming in December, and I still know what my goals for January were. I still know what my goals for January 2021 were, and I know what I was able to achieve. I know what I didn't achieve, and I know why, and I know exactly how I want to go into 2022. That level of awareness, you need it in life, in anything that you want to do, especially when it comes to working online. Because if you are not clear on the goals and if you don't know how to achieve them, you are not going to achieve them. You can set them with all the good intentions in your heart in November, December, January, but come the rest of the year, you're not going to achieve them. So I'm really looking forward to the scam session on Wednesday night, same time, 8 p.m. and on the goal setting session on Friday night. And on Friday night, I have a surprise for you when it comes to the goal setting session. All right, guys, thank you so much for sticking with me tonight. I appreciate you being there. Have a good night, and everybody else who asks for access to the remote job directory, I'm going to give you the access, the link to join right away. Have a good night and take care of yourself. Bye. All right, good night, guys.